Happy Easter, everyone! I hope that you're having a wonderful day with your families, with your friends, with plenty of wonderful food, maybe some sneaky chocolate and cakes and other wonderful yummy things. My main focus today is breathing through my nose because I have been struggling with the allergies since I stopped taking an antihistamine about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I've been really struggling with getting my body back into the normal kind of mode of being and breathing without the help of antihistamine. And it's been an up and down journey, and I really thought that it would have been much easier because it is autumn now in Australia, so we shouldn't have pollen in the air. But I've just been told by a few people actually that in this last season the level of pollen in the air in Australia has been 6 times the normal level. That's a lot of pollen, and that's a lot of challenges for people who struggle with hay fever and allergies. So I'm doing my best. But to be quite honest with you, yesterday I actually cried. I felt so bad with the runny nose and itchy eyes and a headache, and just, I know, there's just this overall sense of fatigue when your sinuses are blocked or when there is that kind of struggle with breathing. It just results in a real sense of fatigue, which I'm actually feeling right now as well. And since it is Easter, I think I would like to address some things related to religion, Jesus, Bible, and topics like that. I am not religious. I don't belong to any religious organization, to any kind of a church. I don't go to church. I consider myself as a spiritual person. And as a sex educator, I get a lot of hate from Christians. Over the years, I got so many comments from people under my YouTube videos quoting the Bible to me or advising me to turn back to Jesus because he will forgive me, and stuff like that. The thing is, I love Jesus. I think he was an awesome dude. Like, there's no denying that he existed. Like, he's a documented person in history. He lived 2000 years ago. So I have no doubts about that. Nor do I have any problem with his message. I think he was an extremely charismatic person, and that he was really bringing an amazing message and quality of teaching into people, around him. What I do have a problem with is how these teachings were interpreted over the years, how they were twisted, how the whole Bible, people claim that this is the word of God. Well, I don't believe that. I think some of the writers were definitely inspired, but they were still people, and they still wrote through their own perception as human beings, as people, not divine, godly creatures, but actual human beings. So by that, they were still imperfect. So whenever people quote the Bible to me or tell me that things I teach are sins, so why would I teach them? Because the Bible clearly states you're not supposed to masturbate, or you're not supposed to be, gay. So these people seem to be very confused. Why would I go against the Bible and teach something very different? So first of all, Bible has been highly edited over the years. It was also changed in terms of which books are allowed and are not allowed. What we currently see and consider as a Bible is a collection of books that were put together to fit somebody's agenda. And it wasn't God's agenda. It's an agenda of certain people. So 2000 years later, these once beautiful and exalted and inspiring teachings right now are not that anymore. Or the way that the Bible presents them, it's not what actually was said and what happened word for word 2000 years ago. What I think also we need to understand that there is a lot of faith when it comes to choosing a religion or being born and indoctrinated into a religion. We are trusting and believing, and we have faith that this is the right way. Well, what is that faith based upon? If it's based upon a priest or some person of authority telling you in church or a similar organization that this is the only way to be, then you've got to ask yourself, how do they know? This priest or this other person of authority in the church or other religious organization is still a human being. What if they're wrong? What if many people were wrong because they keep believing something that was passed down as a certain tradition, and nobody's checking it, nobody is questioning it, people just keep accepting it blindly as the truth. Well, I was born into the Catholic Church. I was indoctrinated into the Catholic religion, and I know that when you grow up in that, when you don't know anything else, it seems like this is the only path. And all the other people who don't believe in Jesus and God the way that we do, they're all doomed. And we feel sorry for them, but there's no way to save their souls. They're gonna be doomed unless they convert into the only one religion, the Catholic Church. Well, what about all the other religions who tell you exactly same thing, that indoctrinate you in an exactly same way? See, it's a little bit like therapy. There are so many different modalities and approaches to therapy, from Gestalt therapy to psychotherapy to shamanic therapies, CBT approaches, somatic therapies, and counseling. There's just so many different ways. And it's not like only one of them is right. All of them are right, but they just right for different people because we are all different and our needs and requirements are different. That's why there's so many religions and philosophies and ways to live your life. Not because one is right and everybody else is wrong, but because all of them are right for different people. It's the same thing with religion. If you are taking somebody's word that Bible is the only way to go, or that one particular religion is the only way to go, well, I think you're just being a bit blind and a bit close-minded. Because if it works for you, then that's wonderful. And that's amazing that you found that one religion or philosophy or system or modality, in life that works for you. Amazing. But don't try to force it on other people as the only one truth. There isn't such a thing as the only one truth. And in a way, I do believe that all the different religions, they kind of talk about the same thing, but they talk about it in different ways. That's why I'm kind of skeptical when it comes to recommending anything like philosophy, modality, therapists, or things like that, workshops, events, lines of thought, etc. Because what works for me and what I find amazing, exciting, insightful, inspiring, etc., might not be that for you at all because of your particular life experiences up to date and your perceptions that you use when you're experiencing life and receiving life and life's events. Because of that, my preferred things and ideas might just not work for you. And that's okay. Doesn't mean that they're wrong. Doesn't mean that there's something wrong with me or with you. We're just different, and different things are gonna work for us. When it comes to me personally, I am spiritual, and I believe that God, aka universe, aka the divine or cosmic force, etc., it's all the same thing, is this cosmic force or presence that we are all a part of, and that every single person is an embodiment of. So when I am going through my human experience and when I am experiencing myself as a human being, it is because in my mind's eye, I've forgotten that I am actually divine. And so I am having this illusion of being in the human body, in the 3D reality. So I'm having an experience here where I'm learning and having fun and hopefully enjoying myself. There's no hell, like that doesn't exist in my mind. What exists is just going back to your divine nature. I do like to use a metaphor of a virtual reality helmet, meaning I am God and you can apply it to yourself, so you are God, and at the moment you have actually a virtual reality helmet on that you've forgotten that you have on. So what you can see around you is a 3D reality, is a physical reality, is the world where you are human and there's other humans and you're having an experience called life. That doesn't mean that you're not God. You still are God, you still are divine, you still are connected to this amazing, omnipresent, divine reality. But you've kind of forgotten because that's how you program the virtual reality helmet. You wanted to give yourself an experience that is fully immersive. And if this is shocking you right now, this kind of an idea, then please keep in mind that this is just my way to understand and perceive life. This is what I've come to through many of my different spiritual and healing experiences and personal growth experiences, etc. I'm not saying that this is the truth. Nobody knows what the truth is. You don't know what the truth is. Nobody does. Your priest doesn't know what the truth is. Your guru or your teacher doesn't know what the truth is. We don't know. We won't know until we die. And if somebody's telling you that they do, don't believe them. You can know for sure that they are bullshitting you, because we just cannot know. But this is something that works for me. This kind of a way of looking at life helps me to go through life in a way that is very self-responsible, because I am not waiting for somebody else to tell me how I am supposed to live my life. I am taking full responsibility, knowing that I decide this is my game, this is my virtual reality helmet that I created myself and put on my own head in order to have this life experience, and now I can do and create anything that I desire, with the goal, to me personally actually, being to have as much enjoyment in this game called life as I can possibly derive from it. And that's what works for me. Mainly because growing up in a religion was really putting a lot of pressure on me to get life right and to not end up in hell or not keep sinning, etc., etc. Whereas now I know that there's no hell, there's no sin, there's just me expressing myself in this game of life, expressing myself as a human being. So this idea of no policing system, of somebody telling you, shaking their finger at you, going, you're not allowed to do that, you're not allowed to do that, doesn't really exist in my more spiritual view of the world. And the meaning of life, let's tackle that little question, is to go through this experience in a way that gives you as much enjoyment as possible. Appreciate this journey for what it is, together with the ups and downs. Like the downs are a part of the experience, and they're gonna help me appreciate the ups even more, and they help me grow and understand much more as a human being, and to keep creating this life experience as an even better adventure. It's not easy to talk about the meaning of life and your own philosophy online, but I hope that that made sense. Maybe that even enriches your life, or maybe just gives you some food for thought, or maybe you have completely different ideas and you can leave them down below in the comment section. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Please stay open-minded. It's okay if we're all different and believe in different things. That is absolutely fine. And I hope that you're having a wonderful, wonderful Easter, and that you're going to keep celebrating and having an amazing time. Bye!